I knew my marriage was over before my husband said a single word. It wasn't because he found a text. It wasn't because he caught us together. It wasn't because someone confessed. It was because Ryan's phone started ringing, and Noah answered it. At first, I thought he'd made a mistake. People grab the wrong phone all the time, especially at crowded parties. That's what I told myself. For exactly 3 seconds. Then I saw Noah glance toward me before lifting the phone to his ear. He knew exactly whose phone it was. And in that moment, I knew he already knew far more than I did. The dinner party was my idea. Funny how every disaster in my life seems to start with one of my good ideas. We'd invited neighbors, coworkers, and a few old college friends to celebrate the completion of our home renovation. Nothing formal, just food, drinks, and conversation. So Ryan had helped oversee part of the renovation through his construction management company. Inviting him made sense. At least it did on paper. In reality, I'd spent the last 15 months sleeping with him. Affairs don't usually begin with passion. They begin with convenience. Working late, sharing frustrations, laughing a little too long, finding excuses to text. Eventually, the line disappears, so gradually you barely remember where it was. That's what happened to us. By the time I realized I'd crossed it, turning back felt harder than continuing. So I continued. Noah never seemed suspicious. If anything, he became more relaxed. He stopped asking where I was, stopped wondering why meetings ran late, stopped checking in during business trips. I mistook his silence for trust. Looking back, it was resignation. Ryan arrived just after 6 carrying an expensive bottle of bourbon. Noah greeted him with a smile, shook his hand, even clapped him on the shoulder. Watching them laugh together made me feel sick. Not because I thought Noah knew, because I couldn't imagine what would happen if he ever did. The evening unfolded normally. People toured the renovated kitchen. Kids chased each other through the backyard. Music played softly from the patio speakers. Wine disappeared faster than expected. Laughter filled the house. I almost relaxed. Almost. Around 8:30, Ryan stood. I left my phone in the living room, he said. I'll be right back. He disappeared inside. A minute later, someone called everyone outside to watch the sunset from the deck. Ryan never made it back into the house before joining us. His phone remained on the coffee table. None of us noticed. Then it rang. Loudly. The ringtone cut through the conversation. Everyone looked toward the living room. Ryan turned instinctively. So sorry. He laughed. I'll grab it. He started walking. Noah was closer. I've got it, he said. Simple, casual, completely ordinary. He walked into the house, picked up the phone, looked at the screen, paused, then smiled. Not a happy smile. A patient one. Instead of bringing the phone outside, he answered it. Hello? The backyard went strangely quiet. Ryan stopped moving. My heart slammed against my ribs. Noah listened for several seconds, then said politely, No, this isn't Ryan. Another pause. Oh, I understand. He looked directly at Ryan. You've reached his friend's husband. Nobody reacted. Not yet. The sentence sounded strange but harmless. Only Ryan and I understood why those words felt like a knife. Noah nodded thoughtfully. I see. Another pause. You thought he was with Claire tonight? The world froze. Ryan went completely pale. I forgot how to breathe. Whoever was on the other end immediately hung up. The line went dead. Noah lowered the phone, walked back onto the deck, and handed it to Ryan. I think that call was meant for you. Ryan stared at the phone but didn't take it. Noah kept his arm extended. Still smiling. Still calm. Finally, Ryan accepted it. His hands shook so badly he nearly dropped it. One of our neighbors laughed awkwardly. What was that about? Nobody answered. The silence stretched longer than anyone wanted. Finally, Noah spoke. I've been wondering that myself. The mood changed instantly. People sensed something was happening. They just didn't know what. Ryan tried to recover. It was just a misunderstanding. Noah nodded. I'm sure. Then he looked at me. What do you think? Every eye turned toward me. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Because there wasn't a lie big enough to cover what everyone had just witnessed. When did you find out? I whispered. Noah didn't hesitate. About a year ago. A year. Almost the entire affair. Every vacation, every anniversary, every family dinner. He'd known. Every memory I'd treasured suddenly felt fake. Ryan finally found his voice. I should leave. Noah stepped aside. I think that's probably best. Ryan didn't argue, didn't defend himself, didn't look at me. He simply walked to his car and drove away. The guests quietly gathered their coats. Nobody asked questions. Nobody wanted answers. Within 20 minutes, the house was empty. Only Noah and I remained. He walked into the kitchen, opened a drawer, removed a neatly organized folder. Divorce papers, already signed, already dated, already prepared. He placed them on the counter between us. I wasn't waiting to catch you, he said quietly. I was waiting to see whether either of you would ever tell me the truth. Neither of us had. Months later, after everything was finalized, I finally asked him the question that had haunted me since that night. Why answer the phone? He sat quietly for a long time before speaking. Because guilty people panic. I frowned. You didn't. Another pause. But he did. He looked at me one last time. The moment I picked up his phone, I learned everything I needed to know. I still think about that ringtone sometimes. Not because it exposed us, because it revealed something much worse. I'd spent 15 months believing I was carefully controlling 2 separate lives, but all it took was one unanswered phone, and one man calm enough to answer it, to prove I'd never been in control at all.